Am I nervous? No, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. Woosah. Woosah. So like lifestyle has changed, but do you feel that your being has changed? Like you as a being?
I became more emotional. So yeah, that's something I was struggling with growing up. I wasn't that emotional, but since I was in a serious relationship with a person that I love, and I had a child.
Yeah. As because the topic is being parents, so yeah. You can say you had a child. What? Why?
No, because we said we we're gonna like present Phoenix.
But it's like, have we changed since being parents? So obviously we had a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Shh, don't tell anyone, it's a secret. Our first video. Premise. Being young parents. Subtopics.
Yeah.
Changing paths or lifestyles in your 20s. Do you feel that your lifestyle and yourself, your character, your personality has changed since you became a father?
That's a good question.
In your 20s.
Yeah, becoming a dad in my 20s, yeah, I think, yeah, a little bit of my character has been changed, because like, you know, in your 20s you're not thinking of having kids anyways, you're thinking of like traveling the world, you're thinking of like going out, you're thinking of I don't know, partying, you're thinking of a lot of stuff, but like including kids in that wasn't like, for me there wasn't any child included in my 20s anyway, so it just happened. So yeah, and you just have to adapt, because I know there's a lot of stuff that you don't know when you're a young mom or young dad, like young parents anyways in your 20s. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know that you need to like start. You're like myself, I'm still young, like, and I think I'm still a kid as well, I'm still a child, so trying to like bring up a child that you're a child, and you're like, because sometimes I act like 15, I don't know, like he's 16 years old or something. So yeah. What about you?
I think I have changed, not completely, but a lot as a person, because I was on a very different path beforehand, but you were kind of on the same path. You were focusing on your career, you had your head down, you were pretty much getting your shit together your entire life, and you started from when you were a teenager.
That's true.
You focused on your studies, you got your master's, you got your job, you were traveling, you were doing everything that you wanted to do, like all these different things. You were doing it. You traveled to a lot of places.
Yeah.
I was drinking. I was going out. I was spending money on clothes that I'd wear like once or twice.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Smoking. I felt like I was doing a lot of things, but I was doing nothing that was beneficial to me in the long run. I was all about immediate gratification. I was constantly clubbing. I was just focusing on the week and the day and the moment, rather than getting a car, you know, focusing on my career, anything like that.
So do you think being a mom in your 20s have changed your lifestyle or changed your life?
Absolutely.
In what way? Yeah.
This isn't for everyone, but if I didn't have Phoenix, I probably would have never got my shit together. It completely takes your head off and screws it back on the right way. And it clears out all the uncertainty, all, you know, just not knowing what to do with yourself. When you know that you have like a child that's growing inside you that is going to depend on you.
Yeah.
Like you are their rock. Your priorities change and you have to start thinking about the foundations and the basics and the long term, because it's not just about you. But it's not a bad thing. Of course, there's elements that you miss about before because you were younger, you were skinnier, you know, you had more time to focus on yourself, you know, you looked better, you were probably glowing more, you got more attention, you got, you know, more sleep, you know. So obviously
that's a big one.
Yeah. So you're obviously going to look back in your life and be like, oh my god, you know, I miss the days. But like I always had a big hole in my heart and stuff like that, but I feel like that's filled now, because on the outside I would be this, you know, I'd be very protective and, you know, very confident and, or, you know, this IDAF kind of attitude. No, IDGAF attitude, but inside I just
wanted, what's IDG?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but on the inside, I wanted home, I wanted company, I wanted to be
that's
seen.
actually true what you said. Like when it comes to me, just seeing you the first few times that I met you, like you look like someone that had everything together, like your life was together, you were, I don't know, like composed kind of a person that you, I couldn't explain it. Like you have to like be with you for you to like sit down and like say this stuff before someone's like knows you, you know. When you just look at someone, like that's why they said physical appear and sometimes lies, because you can just look at someone, you think, oh, the person have all of their shit together, but deep down there, like that's not the case. So are you trying to say like having a child in your 20s was actually beneficial to you compared to like, I don't know, like I know there are a lot of female out there that would actually say having a child in their 20s is probably the worst thing that can ever happen to them. So what would you say on that?
I would say that is so down to the individual, because there are some women, men, they, thems, that can see their path like straight ahead, straight away, and they literally have their work cut out for them. But I didn't, you know? Or like I could see a load of different paths. That was the problem. I could see so many different paths, but I had a big problem with committing to one.
Yeah.
And sticking my head down and focusing. But for me personally, it was completely beneficial, because I felt lost in a sense and I didn't really know what to do. But having a kid, I suppose, really makes you think about you as a whole, about what you're doing and about your happiness, because if you're not happy, then how are you going to share happiness with your child?
Yeah.
You know, so you really need to do some inner work, and that starts from the moment that you decide to keep your child, from the moment you decide to become a parent. Yeah.
That's a big one, because I suppose there are a lot of like female out there that maybe they were pregnant in their 20s and they didn't get to keep the child. So and what actually made you decide to like keep the child when you had like different options? As we all know now in Ireland, you can abort a child in Ireland. So why didn't you go through that? She goes finally. Why didn't you go through that bush instead of like keeping the child?
I don't know. Instant love and just thinking about the future, because when you see that little plus sign on the pregnancy test, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of mothers who know exactly what I'm talking about, is I broke down. I literally had a breakdown. Like I was like, I was panicking on my bathroom floor. One of the girls that I lived with at the time had to come in and calm me down and give me water and get me to breathe properly again, because I completely freaked, because I was in no position to have a kid at the time.
Yeah.
But
you still kept the pregnancy.
I still kept Phoenix because I calmed down and I realized that I was talking about we and the baby, and I had already decided, because I completely support people who want abortions and have them. I mean, I always thought I was going to get one before the age of 30. I thought that I was, going to be able to do it. But when you're actually faced in a situation, some people can't. They just can't bring themselves to do it.
Yeah.
And that's completely up to them, I mean, I just wouldn't be able to live with it, And maybe I would be partying now. Maybe, I don't know, we'd be in freaking, God, the Bahamas or something like that right now. But it's, I don't know. And in a way, I think knowing the father of your child, and if you are, okay.
Wait, what you mean knowing the father of your child?
Like knowing that I could put up with you for the rest of my life.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking of something. I was like,
Yeah. And that you were going to be present, because my heart goes out, and my, oh my God, what's the word? Respect goes out to people who do this alone.
Yeah, like single parent, single mom or single dad.
Single mom, because there's the family, there's the village, but you need that person who's in it with you, But it's really hard.
Just a question from my side. Let's say you told me that you were pregnant for me, then I actually I just gave up and be like, no, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to cause I want to live my life. I want to enjoy my 20s. Like, what would you have done?
I would have still had her.
Really?
Yeah.
And how would you have survived?
How would I have survived?
Yeah.
You find a way. You do it. I mean, I am a huge procrastinator. I don't like paperwork, I put things off to the very last minute. I still don't have a driver's license. This is, my first time not living in a house share. I'm all about instant gratification, or I was. But within the first week or two, I had all my paperwork to get on the housing list. I already looked into HAP.
Wow.
I was already saving to find a house. I was already getting everything in order. It kicks your ass into 90. It really does.
Yeah, I wouldn't know all of that now, because I'm not a woman. So yeah, but just the way you're explaining it to me, I can get it as well. Even though I can never be in the same shoe like you, because you had a lot of stuff to go through. Your body, you had to I don't know, your body was meant to be changing. You had to go through a lot of different stuff, like pregnancy, hormones, and what I don't even know of. But you still decided that upon all this, even if Michael, didn't want to be, I didn't want to get involved in raising the child with you, you were still going to keep the child. That's a big kudos to you.
Exactly. But I think as well, I could do that personally, because a lot of people wouldn't be able to do that personally. I was able to do that because I think I saw my mum, my own mum, as a single parent, balance everything. And my dad was in the picture, and he was brilliant. He was very hands-on, he moved down to be closer to us and everything. But she still had to do a lot, because my dad wasn't there every day. And even though he wanted to be, he couldn't. I suppose she just made it look easy. I don't know. But I knew that co-parenting was a very possible way. And that even let's just say you didn't want anything to do with the kid. I knew that you were a good person at heart, even if you couldn't make that decision, because it's a very big, hard decision. But maybe I would have hoped, because I'm not in that situation. I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what I would have done.
Yeah, that's true actually. So yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah. Do you think that we get any judgments? Do you think people judge us?
On my side, I literally get no judgment at all. Like even at work, every single time, if I come late, or even if I'm working and I just tell someone that, oh yeah, I didn't have like full night's sleep because the child was up and like I had to get up and maybe like do a bottle or do something, like everyone is understanding. So there was some part that I've been, they accommodate more time to me to do stuff. So, but I wouldn't say it's in every job site now that happened. But where I actually worked, like I don't know, I'm getting a lot of help though, and most people actually, because I'm one of the youngest. No, I'm the youngest actually in my team. So most people actually like help me because they're dad. Some aren't dad yet, but like some they've been with kids and they know how to like look after them. So I don't think I'm getting any negative feedback or judgment from people, to be fair. But you never know, maybe in someone's heart the person will be like, why did you have the child in your 20s, why? But physically I haven't. Like, even when I'm walking on the street, like there are people that actually come beside me, they're feeling the child, or they want to talk to me and ask how it is, because no one knows what it is to be a young mom or dad, like to be a young parent. No one knows what it is to be a young parent unless you're actually a young parent, like so. And that's something I've been getting. That's even the main reason that I'm saying in front of the camera today speaking, because there have been a lot of people that are asking me to, like, there are a lot of people asking me questions that I can't actually just like say to one person. I felt like I needed to like do a video and just like post it for everyone to see, because I can't answer every single one. People keep asking me this question, that question. I don't even think we're going to finish all of the questions that we've been asked on this video or documentary, but I hope I'm able to answer just a little, I don't know, maybe one or two of those questions that I'm getting asked every single day. Yeah, that's just on my side.
Yeah. And I don't think, people haven't got a clue what it's like, because you might have been raised by a young parent or have friends who are young parents, and I'm pretty sure they can relate so close. But there are some things in life that you haven't got a clue about until you are in the grind yourself. Yeah. But that's the thing. I don't think I've really gotten any judgment. And my family are so incredibly supportive. They've always been, they're a very open family. They're very loving, they're very open-minded. My mum was a young mum herself, so they completely get it. My friend, she's got her own kid, and everyone's been really good. I'm sure himself is my dad's new favourite, so
yeah,
we've had no problems with that.
Mine as well. There's this thing, I grew up not knowing my dad. I grew up without a dad because like my dad died when I was like so young. So just growing up, like most of my friends will be coming to school and they'll be talking about your parents. Oh yeah, my dad got me this for Christmas, my dad got me this for Easter, my dad. Then I was just like, I never wanted to grow up in my life and have a child and not be beside the child. Like I always wanted to be in the child's life, like full time. So that's probably what made me to, like, when you even told me that you were pregnant, I couldn't even say anything else. I was just like, yeah, let's go through this. Because growing up, I said this to myself, that I'm never going to have a child out and not being in the child's life, because I know how it is. And I know there are a lot of people out there as well that they probably didn't grow up with your mom, or they probably didn't grow up with your dad, and they can...
Or neither.
Yeah. Or both of them, yeah. So mine was my dad. I didn't grow up with my dad, but I grew up with my mom, which showed me a lot of love. But even though I still needed like a dad, which I didn't... It's not like my dad left us when my dad died when we were young. He didn't like abandon us, but he just died when we were like really, really young. So yeah, that's just something that I said to myself, that I'm never never gonna let a child go in this life without having a dash beside the child, because I've been in the show, like, so I know how it is to grow up not having like both of your parents beside you. Yeah.
Which brings us to our next question.
Okay.
Do you feel we've gotten any judgment as a mixed couple? Do you feel that we've had any real problems integrating our whole sides of the family? Because we have literally exact opposite families, the exact opposites, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hard in the beginning. I mean, I was so nervous. I mean, okay, just as an example, I come from a very integrated, oh my God, introverted, very small, very, not disconnected, but, you know, our family is scattered all over the place. And we have loads of small little pockets. But when I went up to the home that you kind of grew up in Ireland
in Dublin,
it was just go, kids everywhere, and there was just
Dublin 15, guys. Dublin 15, TYT.
Yeah. I felt like I was just a small kitten, like just looking for cover because there was just so much going on all the time, you know?
Yeah, I grew up in a huge family, literally the biggest family you could ever think of. Just my mom had like 6 kids, like, so imagine your mom had just 2, you and your brother, but my mom had 6 of us. So yeah, that's the first thing as well. Not just being interracial couple, just the fact that I'm from a huge family and you're from a tiny family. That was kind of an issue, is it?
Yeah, it was probably just the hardest hump to get over, like, you know?
Because I remember the first few weeks that we're living together, like, people just keep coming in the house and like, you're like, Mike, like, what's going on? They didn't even ring us to ask us that you're coming down. You're just like, well,
And yourself, like, you know, see, something that he failed to tell me is that he will kind of just leave the room when he wants him to bond with someone. Do you remember when you went up to go play soccer with the lads and stuff like that? And he would just leave there for ages, like...
Yeah, what if I told you that, oh yeah, I want you to bond with this person? That's not organic. I wanted it to be organic, like, so...
But mind you, sorry now for interrupting you, but Phoenix was about 2 months, 3 months, like, I was barely recovered. And it was just tiring.
I suppose that's something... If we ever had to try again in the future, I wouldn't like do it. But no, we're all learning. Like, it's my first time being in, not like being in an interracial couple, but it's my first time being in a serious interracial couple. It's my first time having a child, so there was a lot of stuff that I was learning. So yeah. So
we can safely say that being interracial and culture difference wasn't the main difficulty integrating. It was literally just the fact that our families come from completely different sides of the spectrum. But there's like 1 or 2 different cultural aspects that did have me worried and have me anxious.
Which one?
And that was definitely more of the expectations put on men and women in our different cultures. That's big.
Yeah, like a woman has to like stay in the house, clean and do all the stuff while a man is out.
It's like the man's the breadwinner, and even if the woman wins the bread as well, she still needs to do all the cooking, all the cleaning, take care of the kids. She can be earning what, $5,000 a day, and that would still be her duty. And like, I know it's not like everyone, but it's more of a cultural expectation than in Ireland. I mean, in Ireland, it's so different, you know, because like there's like the new generations and of course the older generations, which are very like that. Man's the breadwinner, woman stays home, cooks and cleans, you know, boils the bacon, all that crack. But in the generations now, it's just not the situation at all.
So I suppose, like, have you changed since we started living together? I don't even know what to say. Like, have you changed your ways of doing stuff, since you were talking about how the different culture, a man have to like be the breadwinner and the woman is the one in the house taking care of the family, cooking, cleaning, all of those stuff. So have you changed since you started living together to like maybe please me? Like, just be honest.
Honestly?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
I mean, there's certain things that you do when you're living with someone that you wouldn't do by yourself, and there's certain things that you need to compromise on. Like, obviously when somebody else is in your own space, you need to learn to live within that.
That's a big one. And before you even continue, it was my first time living in the house, sharing the same bed with a female. Like, like, literally the first time in my life sharing the same bed with a female. And we've been living for six months. Oh, six to 7 months.
6
really.
months.
So,
But just to say, I don't think I've changed as a person, and I think it's a big thing as well because of our connection and how we connected as people. See, and who we were beforehand is the reason why it's working now. I mean, this wouldn't work out with any girl that you would meet or any girl that I meet. It's, you know, it just happened. It just was easy to happen. It just, it happened. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, so let's move on to the next question.
But just to say that I was already a person who was already kind of a bit of a homebody. I wanted that security. I wanted my own place. I loved being at home. I loved cooking. I didn't always like cleaning, but you're very good at cleaning. So we figure things out. You're also a good cook. I like to eat
if you say
and
so.
feed others. And I think it's the same with yourself. We both like food. We both enjoy music. We both enjoy having the crack, but also as well having our own time.
Yeah.
Having our own time, having our wind down time. Yeah.
What do you think about African food? The first time you had it.
God, it's so good. It's so good, honestly. I don't care how many people are there or how shy I'm gonna be. If there's food there, I'm good.
I swear, guys, this girl can eat anything.
No.
Like, you give this girl chili, she's gonna eat it. If you give her, I don't know, plantains, she's gonna anything else, like she's gonna eat it.
Oh my god, yeah. You see, because I don't know, I think Irish people think that some things are so like exotic.
Yeah.
Plantains are not exotic. They're just not common, but they're so good. I'm telling you now, if there was a chipper that sold plantains, they'd be sold out. Absolutely sold out.
I think that's a good business idea. We can start doing that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, let's move on to it, babe.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the men's and women's roles in the family. I mean, you are the breadwinner, and I do stay home and take care of Phoenix.
Yeah.
But that's because you have your career sorted out.
Yeah.
And I want to stay home and be with my baby.
I want to stay home and be with my baby as
And
well.
it's nice, you know, staying at home and yeah. I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna do it forever because, you know, I'm like, I wouldn't be 100% comfortable with you having the main income the whole time, but
it is what it is.
Exactly.
Just for the time being, though, because very soon you have to like get a job as well, and our child is just 6 months old, so someone have to stay home with the child. It's not that she's staying home because she has to. It's the talk. Yeah. What did I just say?
It's not that I have to stay home because I have to. I mean, technically one of us does have to, but I mean, I was working in a deli. You know, my career was very chop and change, so I suppose I was went to stay at home. And how does this impact our little girl who is called Phoenix, by the way? Phoenix Rose.
Yeah, by the way, guys, the name of our daughter is Phoenix Rose. Phoenix
Rose after my mother-in-law. We're not married, but I'm going to say mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Or mommy. She's my African mommy.
Phoenix Rose. This little Rose, look, she's sleeping.
For now.
Yeah. Hopefully she does get up before we finish this video. If not, that's it.
And I suppose one thing that we were thinking about is, okay, a lot of your family is back in Cameroon. A lot of my family isn't
everywhere.
In this country that we're in now. It's everywhere. Your family's everywhere. You've got family in France.
Yeah. England, Ireland, some in Germany, like cousins and stuff, Belgium, and most in Ireland and Cameroon actually, yeah, but everywhere to be fair.
But she'll meet them all. I mean, we're very into traveling.
Yeah.
We've got big plans for traveling in the future, and our family is everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's not really going to be a problem. And culturally, I think it's great that she gets to experience such different sides, such different ends of the spectrum, you know, because she's loved by everyone. I mean, she's that kind of kid, you know, who just gets stopped and through. She's got these big brown eyes. She's beautiful.
Yeah. You're the mom, obviously. You're gonna say she's beautiful, wouldn't you?
I'm obsessed. Really. Motherhood is an obsession with a human being.
Wait,
Absolutely.
there's this question that I always get asked: that did we just had a baby because we're looking for like mixed cage? Because apparently there's I don't know, mixed cage look. They're always like good looking, like, so people. I've actually gotten this question that people ask me that did I just wanted to have a mixed child because the child is good looking or something. I never wanted to have a child now, so that's just a question. That's just the answer to the question, that I never plan to have a child now. It happens, and I never plan to like have a mixed child because I've been with black girls and I've been with white girls as well. So
same.
Yeah, I've been with both. So it just happens. To anyone, the person that asked me this question, that's the answer. Like, I didn't plan to like have a mixed child. It just happened.
Yeah, same. And even now I'm sweating because I feel like when you're the white person talking about it, everyone's like,
yeah, looking at you.
They're looking at you as if you're like, I don't know, the suspect or something like that. It's like, did you like lure this man in to get his seed? And like, you know, like that kind of judgment. It's like, she just wanted his baby. It's like, oh,
look at me.
It makes me nervous just even talking about it because it's such a sensitive topic, and there are people out there where that's like the thing that they do think about.
Yeah, it was a question that I was being asked. Like, someone literally asked me about it. So,
but the thing is, having a kid, no matter what color, where they're from, where their father's from, where you're from, it's not for the faint of hearted. The last thing that matters is the color of their freaking skin.
Exactly. That's the last stuff. Like,
they all shit.
Yeah.
They all cry.
Yeah.
They all need new clothes every month. You know, for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
So no. The answer is no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we're not political people, so I don't think that the relationships that we involve ourselves in as people have to represent that.
Yeah.
You know, we just, I don't know, we just click, man. Yeah. And that's it. We clicked and it ripped and here we are. What can you say?
Yeah. Can't say nothing.
Yeah. Sometimes it just happens. There's no, you know, internal motive. There's no 10-year plan. You know, there's no sketch of what you want your child to exactly look like. Sometimes, guys, it just happens. And it's beautiful, and I would never change it in the world for anything.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay. So if you have any questions, or if you want us to talk more about any of these topics, like being young or how our family's integrated or anything like that.
Being mixed couple, being young, as you said, how we're coping with a child in our 20s, and anything. Like, if you guys have any question that you want to ask, or any of the stuff that we've spoken today that you want us to like elaborate on it, just type in the comment. Let us know, and we're going to do a video just like answering that, because I know there's a lot of people in this situation, or there's some people that are almost in the same situation as we are, that you're like wondering. Like, I know we are in the position now to answer the questions like on course, like the entire truth, the way it is, because we didn't plan the answers before doing this video, so it just came out the way it is. There's some stuff that I suppose that I've told you that I've never told you before in this video, and there's some stuff as well that is coming out of your mouth that I've never heard of. So
yeah. But let's just say if you, oh my god, what's the word? Empathize, or if you're in the situation now, please let us know, because we want to know you guys. I mean, because we are a young couple in our 20s and we're not going out all the time, and we would love to meet people who are in the same situation as. So please, oh my god, we're going to say it now. Please go follow us on Instagram. Our page is Phoenix on the Loose, and we're literally just documenting her life and how she's grown up and how she's doing. And if you want to contact us, please just leave some messages in the comments, or you can contact us there, please.
And don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button.
Oh my god, we're them people. We're them people.